my name is Georgie. I'm here with the lovely Reese Manigan. And today we're going to be chatting a little bit about Reese's films, what he's up to at the moment and what he's done in the past. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. I've wanted to talk to you and you to question me. It's going to be great. Thank you very much for doing this.
No, not at all. Not at all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
There we go. Thank you, everyone. Just thank you to everyone, everywhere. Amazing. Are you happy to hop right in?
Absolutely.
Amazing. So you've done quite a few features before, right? Like
yes.
Features, shorts. Can you give us an idea of what sort of stuff you've done before?
So for the people who need maybe a refresh, because you never know if you suffer from amnesia these days. Basically, I've been making films since 2005. I did Horrorland, and I've done some short stop motion films. I've done some features, which was Big Crime in a Small Town. I did Cold Street, The Wonders of Alice, The Wonders of Looking Glass's sequel, Pine last year. Short films, I'm known for Archie and Jim the series, obviously playing Jim as well. And I've done some very horror shorts called You Shouldn't Be Here, Slice Like a Fox, and also known to do the autism awareness films, The Donkey, and now scripting. So
amazing. And did you expect? So Donkey did the Donkey did really well, didn't it? Right?
Yeah, it did quite well on YouTube. Yeah.
Did you expect it to do as well as it did?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I wrote the script because I remember the idea kind of came when I was like, I wanted to do something quite personal and something quite strong, and the autism awareness films, they're so rare now. I think when you mention an autism film, the only film that comes out is Rain Man, and that's literally the only But as much as I love that movie, people watch it and they go, that's what they're like, that's them, that's all, and I thought, why don't you shut up? They don't fucking know me. But basically, I wanted to write a script to show that, talk about my personal experiences of life and how I view things and everything. And, the idea of the donkey was that I wanted to get people's attention for it and then see, if it would have an impact. And obviously I made it, and then I got out on film festivals, but I know it came out during the COVID time, which wasn't pleasant, but unfortunately it didn't have the response I was looking for. It managed to get into one film festival, and it got a certificate or award, which I was really pleased about. So there was an audience there, but obviously after its festival run, I was like, right, well, YouTube is only the only answer now, and obviously you've got to get it out. So on the 2nd of April, Autism Awareness Month, I thought, right, that's the perfect time to release it. Got it out, and all of a sudden, it just completely flipped. People were watching it, I was getting messages, they were saying, we love this film, how come it didn't get any attention, it made me cry, it made me laugh, and I was literally getting the response that I kind of wanted after, but in a way, at least now people are watching it and they know, and it's out there, so.
Totally, and that's the point of film, isn't it? To make people feel things and to represent things that aren't spoken about.
Exactly, yeah.
That's brilliant. And what made you want to do a sequel?
Well, it's funny because I kind of joked about it when I was making the first one. I was like, you're going to dress up like a crocodile, call it the crocodile, call it the snail, the slug, the fox, whatever. And I joked about it and said, next time he's going to be like a raccoon. Amazing. And stuff like that, But then I thought, well, people do need to take it seriously, despite the jokes and the humour of it all. But because there is a core message there, as I'm trying to put out, and a sequel, like I said, I wasn't really planning on making one, but then one day I had this idea of, I was reading something about this autistic man who created something during a play, and he actually didn't speak as much either. He was not very verbal, but he managed to make a play, and this was someone in America, and I was thinking, God, I can imagine if Eddie was to do something like that, if he was to put in this performing arts class and he had to do that, and I did have a script, and it was still called scripting.
Yeah.
But when I was casting and putting everybody out for the film, the actors who I wanted to be part of it, they wanted to be in it, but they didn't want to meet and talk about it or anything like that, and it was like, then what's the point of even making this if you don't even want to talk about it, and stuff like that. So it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I scrapped that and said to him, right, we're not doing it, because if you don't want to meet and talk about it, we're not doing it. So, but then I was reading some stories about, still people with cancer and stuff like that, and how powerful that people can judge and everything. And I thought, it's just disgusting. So I thought, well, in a way, it kind of does link to autism, because you're going through. Autism's not a tragedy, but it's something that you're going to have to live with, and people have to respect that, and sometimes they don't, and that's the suffering of it, and that's what I'm trying to say. And with cancer, you get all these people that have had it, and their spouses or lovers don't want anything to do with them because they're going to die, and I thought the rejection of this world is disgusting. So I thought that would be such a powerful love story to have about someone with autism who can't even get a job just because of who he is, and you've got a girl who's this really lovely person who's now dying. And I thought, if them two were to come together and show that they can connect with that, I thought that would be a powerful story. So I wrote that to be the story, and I thought this is going to be something, definitely. So I thought, let's see what we can do with this one.
100%, and it sounds so honest and truthful. And obviously, I've had the pleasure of reading the script, and it's brilliant.
Thank you.
But it sounds, like a very real experience for a lot of people. Were there any experiences from your life that will kind of add into that script?
Well, I haven't known anybody who's had cancer in my life, luckily, and I hope I never do. I mean, if it happens, it does. But no, I've never fallen in love with someone who's dying. We're all dying anyway. But I mean, like the experiences for Eddie is the fact that he's trying to find love. But his character is having doubts because he's like, no one's going to want me if I've got autism. Who on earth is going to put up with me? And that's how I felt, because I remember when I was at college. And if there was a girl that I liked, or a girl that was talking to me, it was like, people were like, why don't you ask her out? And I'm thinking, that ain't going to want to go out with me. Like, seriously, she's this really nice girl, and I'm this little small fry, who on earth is going to want to put up with me like that, And honestly, that's how I used to feel. I mean, it never really used to bother me as much, because, I was never the type of guy to go out looking for a relationship anyway. My whole life was built on film career and everything, but the whole, if a girlfriend came, they came sort of thing, but it was about meeting the right one, which now I have, so that's not a problem there, but that's how I used to feel, and I used to think, that no girl was going to want to put up with someone like me. There's no way. They're going to get sick of me. They're going to think, my God, who is this guy? And that's what Eddie experiences. So when his luck turns and he's like, oh my God, this girl actually likes me, and I'm not even talking, but and he gets all excited. That is literally how it felt. And plus, walking into a wall actually did happen when a girl once asked me out. So that actually happened. And I thought, let's add that in. There's a lot of truth.
There is a lot of truth.
Yeah.
But perhaps some... and I think that's the thing as well, isn't it, with comedy, is that it can help us to navigate these really tricky subjects that no one really wants to talk about, but needs to talk about.
Yes.
Which I definitely notice a lot in your work that I've been lucky enough to read and see, is that there are sort of comedic elements sprinkled in, but they're perfectly placed to make you kind of keep track of what's going on.
Yes.
And take in the actual topics that need to be heard, which is amazing. It's brilliant. Now, obviously, crew, writer, actor, but tell us about the rest of the cast and the crew.
Well, you're cameoed in the film as my second date, which was brilliantly done. But yeah, the cast, with this one, originally I had Sammy Simmons to come back to play Carl. He was in the first movie, and he played Eddie's best friend. And Sammy is a fantastic actor. He's been in pretty much every project I've done. And he's such an incredible person as well. And I was really hoping he would come back to play this role, and he was. But then his personal life kind of took hold of him, and he said he couldn't do it. So I said to him, do you mind if I find somebody else then to not take over the role, but play a different friend? And he said, yeah, go for it, it's your film, you know. And so I brought back a very familiar face, Charles Lloyd, who was very honoured to come back to come and do this film, because I was going to put him into a cameo anyway, but when I said to him that, would you mind playing Eddie's new friend and everything, he was like, yeah, definitely. I mean, in a way, bringing in new people kind of makes the film a bit fresh, you know. I mean, even though it would have been good to have Sammy back, I think bringing in a new friend for Eddie kind of expands that universe, and you know, and it shows that Eddie just doesn't have just one friend, and you know, so it's kind of nice that he's expanded. So in a way, it makes it feel fresh. And plus, me and Charlie, we bounce off each other all the time. So there's that Reese and Charlie moments that we add into the film, which we did on purpose. I'm sure they're going to end up in the final take. Then, of course, the most incredible actress, Charlotte Campbell, plays Patricia, and that was a no-brainer to have her play my love interest, because me and Charlotte, we're best friends anyway. She's like a sister to me. We bounce off each other, and we did The Wonders of the Looking Glass together. And someone said, God, you two have really good chemistry, don't you? And all this. I was like, really? He was like, yeah. And I was thinking, well, we do, because we're best mates anyway. But when I was writing it, she was the first person that popped into my head. I was like, yeah, it's got to be Charlotte Campbell. Plus, Charlotte, every film that she has done for me, no matter what it is, comedy, drama, sci-fi, anything, she puts 110% into it. And so there was no brainer that she was going to do it. And I was like, it has to be her. So I spoke to her on the phone before I even sent her the script, and I said, look, I've got this role. It's kind of difficult and a bit powerful, and I can understand if you don't want to do it, but I really think you should, because I think this is your sort of caliber. And she was like, I really want to read the script. I really do want to hear about it. So I sent her the script, and amazingly, she was like, yes. And I was so happy, because I think if she'd have said no, I probably would have done it. I probably would have said, you know what, then I don't think I can, because, you know, I was more comfortable to have her play my love interest than somebody I don't know, because it all could have gone horribly wrong, and they put no chemistry, and I don't want people to look in and say, it doesn't look believable. So Charlie and Charlotte were fantastic castings, there was no problem there. And Anna is in the film, who plays Patricia's mum, who is a wonderful actress, very funny, but also can play really good drama as well. And she was a no-brainer to play the mum. Plus, I think as well, she wanted to be in The Donkey originally, but we only just met when I was in the middle of filming, so she couldn't have a role. So I said to her, if there was a chance I was going to do another one, I would definitely put her in. So immediately I was like, Anna, I've got a role for you, and she was like, brilliant. So she was in. And also we've got Celine, who plays the nasty bitch who interviews me, and rejects me for the job. So, but she was happy to do the role, and you know, so yeah. Everybody was fantastic, and the performances they've given out are incredible. And plus, I've got Megan Grover behind the scenes editing the film for me as well. And she was part of The Donkey, filming and editing. And you know, Megan is just an absolute diamond. Like, I couldn't have a better editor, cinematographer than her. So yeah.
Amazing. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And what do you hope, in terms of the people watching this interview and the people who are going to watch the film? What do you hope that they will gain from watching the film?
Well, better response to The Donkey. I'm going to say, in terms of promotion, because it's not just an autism awareness film, it's also a cancer awareness / love story / drama / comedy. I would say that what I want them to see is, you know, people stop being so objectifying over people that are different, and really respect people who see things differently. Because with me, you know, I work so differently and see things so differently that every time something comes out of my mouth, they think, what the fuck's he talking about? But what I want is for people to look at this and know that difference isn't harmful, it's not scary, it's not, you know, just because a new type of individual pops in, it's like, you know, why do we have to have this person in? And, you know, I really want them to respect autism a bit more with this, because it's not stereotyped, you know, it's not a disability that makes us look like we've got one.
Yeah.
You know, look. You know, 'cause I get that all the time. You don't look autistic, and then I'm like, well, do I have to be green then? You know, describe it to me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay. And you know, to show that we can be like other human beings in terms of finding love and a job and just having a life.
Yeah.
And also, if people have got an illness or a disability, don't reject them. Still love them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to go, and you have to make their final moments treasurable. So that's the story that I'm hoping to aim for this, and I'm also hoping to make a lot of people cry.
I mean, I think you'll achieve it. From the minute walking on set, you could feel the sort of emotion.
I made a lot of people cry on set.
Yeah.
I mean, I never knew I could be so good as a dramatic actor. I thought people would look at this and think, but I actually had people welling up, and I just couldn't believe it. So I was quite shocked.
Yeah, but you know what? It's great that you picked up on the parallels of sort of having someone who's dying from a terminal illness, and actually someone who is someone who has autism, and you know the fact that people look at autism like it's some sort of terminal diagnosis is horrific, right? It's great that you've had a plot based around it, and it's great that you found the parallel, but it really brings it home, doesn't it? That people are viewing autism like it's a life sentence, like you're going to die because you've got it, and it's a horrific thing. And actually, it's not necessarily easy in the world that we live in by any stretch, but it doesn't mean it's a horrific thing, right? Like there's so many beautiful, amazing people who happen to have autism.
Dan Aykroyd, Beethoven, Hans Christian Andersen.
Exactly. There are so many wonderful, creative souls that are autistic. And it doesn't mean that it's a terrible thing, right? It just means that they're slightly different to the society that we've built that doesn't necessarily favour, you know, neurodivergent people.
Exactly.
Which is such a shame. But I have to know. Do you reckon that you're going to do another story with Eddie?
Do you know what I would love to? Because I could tell stories from here to the end of time. Although, to be fair, I am working on a spin-off series called Alienation, which will focus on Eddie, but he can talk this time. Okay. So it's going to be like a few years later, and there's some storylines that also don't just talk about autism, but link to other stuff. But that's kind of like a standalone thing. But links to Scripted and Donkey. A trilogy could be possible. It depends on the right story, and it depends on the messages I want to give out. I'm sure there's loads I can tell. And you know, maybe you'd have an extended role, as you know, which would be awesome. And yeah, there's quite a lot I could tell. So it's never say never, but at the moment I'll have to think about it.
Okay. There we go. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where the rest of this story, I say storyline, but kind of series goes, and where the rest of your films go. But it's exciting times, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Exciting times ahead. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to ask you questions.
Thank you for asking.
No. And yeah, I look forward to working with you again really soon.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.